Amen.
Now, when we give a sacrifice to God of anything, that we believe that comes from a place of faith, it'll create a feeling of generosity where we feel like we just can't help ourselves.
Amen.
You just can't help it. When God's love is shed abroad in your heart because you've been meditating on God's unmerited favor towards you and who Jesus is and what it meant when he died on the cross, and that everything that you'll ever need in your life was bought by Jesus. Everything you'll ever need, God supplies freely. Everything. And when you know, you have confidence before God because you know that you believe the gospel, that means that you have perfect obedience.
Amen.
Right now.
Amen. Amen.
But when we're persuaded of this gospel, we become content with, when we're persuaded of this gospel, we become content of what we have right here and now.
Amen.
So sometimes we desire things, but it's the lust of the flesh because it's a strong desire to be declared righteous by our self-effort. So the flesh doesn't mean your physical body. God created the body's good. Every desire in and of itself is not bad. Every desire to see good things happen comes from God. But when we turn to trust in ourselves to make it manifest, that's when it's wrong. Because it's not faith. You know, some of the definitions of sin are not to partake in, to miss the mark, and to not believe. God's whole point is he wants us to receive his life. Amen. He wants us to receive what it is that he has. Amen. And what angers him is the belief in our heart that makes us think that he doesn't want to give it to us.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Now, we have to look at what happens when we try to sacrifice without obedience. Not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works. And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Wow.
Now, the depths to which what's important is that we have Christ as the foundation. Christ is the foundation. But even if you don't have Christ as the foundation, you can still do some stuff. You can still make miracles manifest. But if Christ is the foundation, if you build wood, hay, and stubble on that, then you'll have no reward when you get to heaven. Amen. You're only rewarded for what you do inside of the gospel.
Amen.
And not what you do for God, but what you do knowing that God did everything for you already.
Amen.
Huh.
Amen.
Wow.
So either we can be robbed of we can be tricked out of our reward.
Amen.
Or if you're not careful, you could go to hell for thinking that your sacrifice is what makes you worthy of heaven. You ever notice how many people say that it's because they worked iniquity and they saw iniquity as an outward action, but the iniquity is that they didn't believe in the Son.
Amen.
And they went to God professing that they did so many good things, and this is why they're worthy of eternal life. Like, God, I served you all these years. Where's my stuff? God didn't answer that. I don't know if you ever noticed, but if you read during the Gospels, every time somebody went to Jesus talking about what they had to do, he told them to be perfect. And every time they went to Jesus with need or believing that he could do it, he just gave them what they wanted.
Amen.
Plus some.
Amen.
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 So when we look at Rome, but also, this doesn't mean to start going against your conscience. This means to meditate in the gospel until God frees you of those lies about his character.
Amen.
So when we read Romans 14:13-23, it says, let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way. I know and am persuaded by the Lord Jesus that there is nothing unclean of itself, but to him that esteemeth anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean. But if thy brother be grieved with thy meat, now walkest thou not charitably. Destroy not him with thy meat, for whom Christ died. Let not